Hello, OFP Nation, and welcome to our Sunday weekly analysis. It is March 23rd, 2025, and we are ready to take a look at the week ahead to see what the markets are going to be potentially throwing our way. Nick, are you with me?
Yes, I am here.
Yes, you are here. To those of you who are with us live, thank you for joining us. And for those of you who are watching the replay, hello to you. Make sure you send us some love in the comments. If you guys just remember, we're going to be going through our general watch list. But of course, if there are any particular pairs you want us to go over, please feel free to let us know. And we'll do that at the end of the analysis. Without further ado, I'm going to pass the mic over to Nick.
All right. So, the dollar index. We are now seeing something happening with the dollar index. So, like I said, it's either we're going to consolidate and then continue dropping to the bottom, or this is going to be a level we're going to reverse from. Right now, it seems like we might actually be reversing since we have made some higher highs over this point of last week. So what could that mean? If we go right past this resistance, there are two things that can happen. It's either we're going to go halfway of this drop and then continue dropping on the way down and take out this low, or we're going to continue all the way up, reach this resistance. Then from there, a decision will be made. Either we're going to go past this resistance at 107.500, or we are going to reverse from this point. So those are the two instances. So at this point, I do believe that the dollar index may continue going up, probably to this midpoint right here, around 105,500. And then either it's going to continue going up past it and come here and then to make its own decision from there, or it's going to reverse from here, then continue all the way down. So that's what I'm actually anticipating with the dollar index in the coming days and weeks, especially for the fact that we are literally close to the month end, just a few more days, and we're going to have NFP and the other high news related stuff. But as for this week, of course, we're just going to be having flash reports of PMI for the euro, for the pound, for the dollar, and followed by some Aussie CPI with some unemployment claims from the US only. So the biggest of them all for the US dollar will be the unemployment claims. The flash PMI is just a preparation for the actual PMI. So that's one thing we have to keep in mind. So the unemployment claims are something that will also prepare us for NFP. So if we have high unemployment, then we know the jobs numbers are not going to be that good or are going to be equal to the prediction for the NFP day. Right, so let's actually move over to euro dollar now. So with euro dollar, this is self-explanatory. We're going to the bottom, just the same as what we saw on the dollar index. We reached this resistance level twice, and this trend line was broken, and we consolidated for a bit, and now we broke to the downside. So this means the exact same thing. Like I said, it's either we're going to come to the midpoint of this strong push up, or we're going to go right past it and then come all the way down to our support level. That should be around 1.03500. So this is what we can anticipate on euro dollar for this coming week. Then let's look at pound dollar as well. So pound dollar, we did reach a level of resistance right there, and we didn't go past it. So same scenario, trend line is obviously broken, as we can see here without even drawing one. Yeah, so the trend line obviously here is broken, and we seem to be going to the same place as well. The previous resistance, that is at 1.25500 on pound dollar. So that's what we're also anticipating for next week. So obviously next week, the majority of next week, we're literally just going to see more dollar strength, especially if the unemployment numbers on Thursday will be good. Then we might actually see dollar even strengthen even more. So let's keep that in mind. Then let's look at dollar yen. So dollar yen has been playing a game for quite a minute now. So it reached right above this resistance level. Overall, it's still bullish. Dollar yen is still bullish. We're in the early phases. So if you're looking to get in dollar yen, this is still a great time. We broke right through the resistance, which is a good sign. Then we pushed all the way back down. We touched a small level of support, bounced off that, which clearly shows that this is already still in a bullish trend. So that's one thing we can keep in mind here. So come Monday, we are still looking for dollar strength, like I said. So we might actually be coming all the way up to this resistance level, going past that. Major resistance levels that we are looking to see is probably around 15200 on the dollar yen. So that's what we're actually looking to see. But what is the use if our risk is all the way down here at this previous support level? So we need to probably aim higher for the dollar yen. So for the dollar yen, I would say the best aiming point to actually be looking to push dollar yen higher is at the previous high. That is around 159. So that is the ideal level we are looking to get up to with dollar yen. Because if you just look at this risk right here, the risk on, and then the potential profits going to the upside, this is actually lucrative than just actually aiming for these short-term levels or where price may reverse from. Of course, we might have moments where the price will reverse from here, then come down to a certain level, then continue going up. So we're willing to take that risk where we might actually come here and then bounce and then come all the way to the bottom. But that's why I say now is like a great time to enter in the dollar yen rather than waiting for it to come all the way here, 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 and then your risk will just be larger than usual. So if you entered all the way down here, good for you. Nice entry point was obviously here. We are still there. So there's still time to get right on this boat before it actually leaves. Then let's look at dollar Mexican. So dollar Mexican, we came back up to the support level over here like we expected. And we went right past through it. And obviously what we are waiting to see is probably reversal from this point. If we go past this point as well, then we might actually be seeing bullish momentum on the dollar Mexican. But like I said, the dollar may actually be really strong this coming week, especially unemployment claims. The forecast for the unemployment claims is actually higher, but I actually think it's gonna be lower than 223, or even lower than the expected forecast. So I don't think like the focus on the unemployment claims is gonna be reached or go above it. So it's either gonna be equal to it or it's gonna be lower than 225,000 unemployment claims. So that's what I'm actually seeing on the dollar. Then let's look at CAD-Swiss. So CAD-Swiss, we have a break of the trend. We already established that. We went right past the resistance level here. So we're also bullish with the CAD Swiss. So with CAD Swiss, we're looking to actually take this further up, come all the way up here, breach that as well, breach that as well, and coming probably all the way up to 0.64 thousand. So, like I said as well, we're at a level of support here. So, we're just looking to just probably make a new high off this previous consolidation we had for almost 6 months. I think it was more than 6 months, really. This was probably like 8 months. So, we had this consolidation where price came down, came all the way up, came down all the way to this point, and then it finally broke right through. That was late February, and now we are coming back up. So we are actually looking to come all the way up to this very top level at 0.64 thousand, like I said. So that is what we're looking to aim for, so that we can actually now see some Canadian strength way past these levels, and maybe we look forward to coming to 0.67 or even more with the Canadian dollar versus the Swiss franc. So that is my actual anticipation for next week. Is there anything that may push this to move further next week? Yeah, we have the GDP next week, month on month. So that might actually push the Canadian dollar with a little bit strength, but I wouldn't say it would be very strong, but it's something that could possibly push it even to the middle here around 0.62. So we might actually see Canadian Swiss reach 0.62 by next week. So just keep watching this space for that to happen. And it actually has made the exact same move as dollar yen if you look closely, like a very bullish candle, then one small red candle. We can actually look back at that on dollar yen. Oh, rather this was wrong, but either ways, a bullish candle, small bullish candle, but same scenario. So it seems the market is in some correlation a bit with other markets when it comes to dollar yen and the Canadian Swiss. Then let's look at pound yen while we're at it. So pound yen, we have been pushing all the way up. We're still bullish. We did break the trend line whatsoever right here, but I do believe this is where this pullback is actually ending, and then we might actually see ourselves go past this level next week. So we might actually be seeing ourselves reach 195 on pound yen this coming week. And would there be anything that would support that? Well, maybe if the flash manufacturing just does something, but which is highly unlikely. But yes, that is what would actually be looking for on the pound for it to actually strengthen against the yen next week, Wednesday or Tuesday. Right, then let's move over to our commodity pair, which is gold. So gold, we have been stretching all the way up. This trend line just recently got broken, and there was news about it. Like literally, people were talking about gold on Friday, how it just dumped to exactly 3,000, the 3,000 level right here. This was a level it struggled to breach for like a day. When it first touched over there, then it pulled back slightly and then consolidated, then pushed finally up. So this was actually a level it could have bounced from. So next week, I'm not saying um gold is bearish at this point in time. I would not say that. I know this minor support level was broken, trend line was broken, great, but the factors pushing the price of gold are much stronger. So maybe we might actually have bearish change in momentum if we go right past 29 70, then maybe, just maybe, I might say, great, we are literally now bearish on gold. But for now, we're still bullish. We're looking to make a new high, possibly past 3060, but we're yet to see what happens. We're yet to see what happens this coming week. Like I said, dollar looks to be strengthening. That's why probably it had this spike to the bottom. But one thing you have to know about the dollar, if it's strengthening with other things like currencies and whatnot, doesn't mean gold will move in the same way as well. Gold moves in its own way, and other factors are what pushes gold to either strengthen or weaken. Mostly inflation is what pushes gold to the upside. So if we do get inflation numbers, probably I think that's next week rather, then maybe we might see some bearish gold movement. But as of now, we're still bullish. We're still hanging on to bullish status. And unless we go past 2970, as I already mentioned, then maybe that's when it might actually be bearish and then possibly even see ourselves coming down to 2840. But right now, I'm still bullish on gold. So that is my overall bias. Then let's look at NAS 100. So NAS 100 has been in a consolidation. Trend line was broken, but we are yet to take out this resistance level. So until that resistance level is broken and we go right past it, we don't have any hiccups whatsoever, like we start stalling and everything like that around 2200, then we're all good to go to the upside and probably even make new highs on NAS 100. But as of now, we seem to be like in a consolidation, but I am still hopeful next week we might actually be strong on NAS 100, especially with the fact that the dollar is going to be strengthening next week. That is my anticipation. Doesn't mean it's going to happen, but that's my anticipation. That's what I'm hoping to happen next week with the dollar. Then let's also look at US 30. US 30 broke the trend line, broke resistance. This type of thing I'm talking about, like stalling, like it reaches a level of resistance, it pulls back, it comes back, it pulls back. But overall, US 30 still looks bullish, like we are probably gonna be reversing from this level right around 44,000. So that is my anticipation. So I still think US 30 is also bullish. So let's keep an eye watch on that on US 30. US 30, I'm not really a big fan of it because it moves however it wants to move. But with NAS 100, we are always somehow guaranteed to always make a new high. It has always been making new highs since the beginning of time. So that is the good thing about NAS 100. For US 30, it can move up, it can move down. Yeah, we just look to take in the small moves as it moves. And now let's move over to crypto. So let's start over with Ethereum. Ethereum, we seem to be like in and out consolidation, but overall, I'm looking for us to continue dropping to the downside. So we might actually be seeing ourselves coming to 1,700, especially since I already mentioned that the dollar may be strengthening this coming week. So keep an eye on that. So also let's look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin is slightly looking bullish. I do believe we might not actually even go past 88,000 here, just all because of the dollar. Yeah, I still think the dollar is still going to be strengthening. So I don't think we're going to go past this level. If we go past this level, then most possibly we might be seeing ourselves back in the 90,000 and above area, probably 95,000 for a Bitcoin. That's what we might actually be seeing. But if not, then possibly next week we might be finding ourselves below 80,000. So those are the two scenarios. Either next week we're going to find ourselves above 90,000 or we're going to find ourselves below 80,000. So those are the two scenarios. If we find ourselves below 80,000, then we can definitely aim to go below this previous low as a target. So this is where our analysis comes to an end for this evening, afternoon, morning, wherever you may be. But yeah, this is where we come to an end. Rhea, you can come out from hiding now.
Hello, hello, hello. Thank you, my dear friend, for that lovely analysis. As always, I appreciate you. Before we end the analysis for today, does anybody have any questions regarding what we went over? Or do you have any other pairs you want us to take a look at? Let us know in the comments. We'll give you a minute to respond. And in the meantime, while you are typing up your response, we do want to remind you guys that we do have a current promotion going on. It is our March Boost promotion. Right now, you can get 10% off any account that is valued at $360 or more using code March10, or you can get 15% off of a 100K account with an 80% profit split and a 5% daily drawdown. And that code is going to be scrolling at the bottom of the screen, 15 off 100K. So go ahead and use that to save on your next 100K. ZZ has asked us to look at the British pound and Kiwi.
All right. ZZ Idris. Let's look at your pound Kiwi. So, pound Kiwi. So, pound Kiwi, we seem to be bullish. Well, there's something about pound Kiwi that I know supposed to happen really, really soon. So let's switch over to, I think, the daily, weekly. Or has it already happened? I think it's already happened. There was something that I talked about a few years ago. It's 2020, 2015. Yeah, I think it was around 2020. That was during the COVID period. Yeah, this already happened. Okay. It's been a while since I actually looked at pound New Zealand, but either way, we still have a level that we seem to be pushing all the way up to. That is here around 2.60. So that looks like where we are coming to with pound Kiwi. So that is the actual anticipation for pound Kiwi. We're going to be bullish for a little while. That is what I anticipate. But right now, I would say, yeah, we're still bullish. Not really any serious levels of resistance that we can look at. But overall, what I think with pound New Zealand is that probably next week we might actually be looking to make a new high and probably reaching 2.28 next week with pound New Zealand. If not next week, then the week after, because this pair has literally been bullish throughout. It may have had times where it consolidated for a bit and then had bearish movements for a bit, but it's no different from gold, I would say. Pound Kiwi is aiming to continue going up all the way to 2.60. So that is what you can continue aiming for. So entries like here, and then you put a stop loss here, and then you go all the way up to 260 is a good target, because just look at this. You have a long, long way to go, which is all the way up here. So obviously, pound Kiwi is still bullish at this point. We can't really say much about it. But yeah, next week we can look to probably be at 2.28 with pound Kiwi. Any other? All right. Doesn't seem like there's any other. Rhea, anything else you want to add?
No, I don't have anything else. I said what I needed to say.
All
Um,
right.
well, we thank you for coming to hang out with us and taking a look at the markets. We hope that you have a good remainder of your day and a great trading week. We will be back on Wednesday at the same time. So we will see you. You are most welcome, Zizi. Thanks for coming to join us today. We will be back on Wednesday at the same time, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard, 1600 Eastern Standard, and that is 9 p.m. or 2100 Central European. So we'll be back on Wednesday. All right. We will see you guys next time.